We are live on YouTube.
Chandra, you can start.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the 755th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start our meeting, there are some ground rules. First, let's take 10 seconds to put our mobile phones on silent mode. Second, please unmute yourself when it is your chance to speak. Third, keep a pen and a paper handy to note down your learnings from this meeting. Fourth, at Toastmasters, we do not talk about religion, sex, or politics. Hence, it is recommended that we do not talk about it in an offensive manner. Now, let us start the meeting by inviting our presiding officer, Toastmaster Paramjot Singh, on stage.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Let's put a huge round of applause for Sandra because she's doing this role for the first time. We're not only seeing the speaker information, but a leader information. Thank you so much, Sandra. She did this job really well. Great.
You're welcome.
So today I want to start this meeting with a bunch of good news. And for that, I just want to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Param, we can see your screen.
So South Delhi Toastmaster Club has won certain awards in the year 2019 to 20. And I just received some trophies, 5 trophies. I think I don't have place to keep trophies in my home, but we are winning every day. There are 5 awards which we have received in the last 2 weeks. One is Golden Gavel, that is TCP membership and Club Letters Award. And Sandra, I request you to please mute yourself. Thank you. Fantastic 5 awards. And there is a Distinguished Ahead of a Time award which we have won. Then there is a Rising Star award and Accelerator award. These are the winning of the entire club. I just want to tell you something that at South Delhi Toastmaster Club, we don't chase award because our main award is our members when they feel empowered. There is something we can change in their life. That is our award. But these are the award which are the side effect, or I can say all the efforts which is made by each and every member and the EC team towards the club success. Thank you so much, everyone, for making sure the flag of South Delhi Toastmaster Club is at the high on the entire District 41. And I can say by chest thumping that South Delhi Toastmaster Club is one of the top performing Toastmaster Club of District 41. By District 41, I means India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. In these 4 countries, we are one of the top performing club, and we should be really proud of them. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting efforts. Great. So now I would like to hear something from our guests that how they get to know about us. So I can say I can see some new names. So Rahul, can you share a brief intro about yourself and how you get to know about South Delhi Toastmasters Club?
Okay, hi, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I mean, I've been part of Toastmaster for like 2 years, since like 2017 to 19. I was in Infosys Toastmasters Club, then I went to Great Lakes Toastmasters Club, and then for some like personal reason, I could not attend the meetings and hence could not join the club officially. And I was missing, being part of that stage, being part of that meeting. So I called one of my friend, Smitha. I assume you know her. So she was the one who provided me with the URL of your meeting. So I wanted to, just because I've always been part of either like Chandigarh or Panchkula or Gurgaon Toastmaster Club. So this is the first time I'm joining a club from Delhi.
Great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Rahul, for joining. And I personally will thank after the meeting Smita, who always send people to our club, and she feels that the quality will be given and your Saturday will be productive. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, I would like to hear from one more guest, and that I can see guest Umesh. Can you please unmute yourself and share a brief intro about yourself and how you get to know about South Delhi Toastmasters Club? Guest Umesh.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening, Umesh.
I'm from Oracle Mumbai Toastmaster Club, one of our distinct, one of our Toastmasters Santhya.
Right.
She's one of the most decorated Toastmaster of our club. She's going to give a speech today, and because of her, we came to know about your club. So thanks to Sandhya, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anmesh. And I just want to tell everyone that today there are a bunch of good and great members from Oracle Toastmaster Club is joining our meeting. I welcome each and every member of Oracle Toastmaster Club to South Day Toastmasters weekly meeting. Thank you so much for joining. Now, without further ado, let me call the anchor of the evening. She is very hardworking. She's a marketer by profession and a public speaker by heart. Anything she does it with heart. And when someone does something with the heart, it always comes out best because she makes sure she make it happen. So please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chanda, to rock the stage. Toastmaster Chanda, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param, for lovely brief. So, Thomas Edison once said, genius is 1% inspiration, 99% is perception. It is a true that 1% we require to pull ourselves, 99% we require to push ourselves to achieve any target. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. When we set any kind of ambitions in our life with planning and evaluation, then most of people leave journey in middle of that because it requires a lot of hard work, dedication, and inspiration. Nowadays, everyone is looking shortcut to achieve anything in their life. It is just said that we always should think like a millionaire to achieve any dream in our life. Now, in this journey, only 8% people achieve their dream, rest 92% missing out. As a Toastmaster, TMOD theme always helped me a lot to find out a solution in my life and solve my biggest mystery of life. Last time, I have just choose the theme that is self-love. I wasn't aware about self-love, but through research about that topic, I got to know self-love. I also dream very big in my life that I would have like 20 employees working for me. I have my own house and own car. That's why we should never treat ourselves with a cup of cake. We should always cut a big fruit cake in our life. As in day-to-day life, I keep getting instance, and in Toastmaster journey, people also sharing their experience, how they set goal in their life and achieve it. So that is a really, I also have a lot of long list in my life to achievement, but sometimes I get drifting off and distracted. So I always recall 5 W's, 1 H: who, how, when, why. Then I set back myself and again rethink that I shouldn't be scared taking the challenges. But then I think, no, good things are not made for me. It is not for me. In similar terms, whenever I go for the interview, I always I always think that all are best candidate. I still need to work on my skills, and there is something need to improve on everyday basis. So now with this Toastmaster theme, I want to achieve my personal and professional goals. So feel myself confident and accomplishment of my dream. So I think everybody in Toastmaster have said their dreams. So I just wanted to ask till time we talk about whether it's a guest and fellow Toastmaster, write down in the chat box what process you follow to achieve your dream, how you make it happen in your life. So till time you share your thought. I would request to everyone, please share your thought. Let me hand over stage to our GE Toastmaster Mayank. Please keep sharing your thought in a chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chanda. Good evening, everyone. I would be the general evaluator for today's meeting. My role as a general evaluator would be to assess the meeting as a whole and make sure that each activity of the club is being performed correctly. In general, evaluations are good because it provides a very positive experience that will help the people to overcome the shortcomings that are there and also reinforce successful habits. At the end of the meeting, I will provide feedback on what we did great and how we can improve our meetings for the future. Now, since it's such a big task, I cannot do it all alone. So I also have a team of auxiliary role players who would be assisting me in this activity. So my first team member is the timer. So I would request Toastmaster Rustam to come onto the stage and explain about his role. Toastmaster Rustam.
Thank you, GE. Good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Rustam, and I am the timer for today's meeting. Now, as a timer, I will be timing the whole meeting from the very start till the very end, and I will be timing everyone, including myself. So there are 3 sessions to this meeting. First is the prepared speeches session. Then there is a table topics session, and then there is evaluation session. Now, for the prepared speeches sessions, we have 4 speakers, of which 3 speakers will be speaking for 7 minutes, and 1 speaker, that is the guest speaker, will be speaking for 15 minutes, inclusive of the question and answer round. Now, at the 5 minute, I will be showing the green card. At 6 minute, I will be showing the yellow card, and at 7 minute, I will be showing the red card. For the 4th speaker, I will be showing the green card at 5 minutes, at 6 yellow card, and at 7 red card. And after the whole of the 15th minute, now then I will be directly showing the red card. Coming to the table topic session is of 15 minutes, and every speaker will get and every table topic speaker will get a duration of period from 1 to 2 minutes. Now there is a there is a barrier to the table topics speaker, that is, a speaker has to speak for at least 1 minute to get qualified. Coming to the 3rd session, that is the evaluation session. Every evaluator will be getting 2 to 3 minutes. Then for the there is grace period on both of the that is the lower limit and the upper limit. If a speaker speaks for 4 minutes 30 seconds, then he or she will be qualified for the voting. And if the speaker speaks for 7 minutes 30 seconds, still the speaker will be able to will be qualified for the voting. But for the table topic speakers, every speaker has to speak for at least 1 minute, and the grace period is on the upper hand, that is 2 minutes 30 seconds. Now I'll hand over the stage back to the GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rustam. Now, in many situations, you face many spheres of life. You face situations where you cannot answer a question, and then you come up with I don't know. So to track all this, we have a special person who will be tracking all this. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Jatin, who will be explaining about his role as the accountant.
Hello everyone. Today I'm wearing the hat of accountant. But before I tell you about my role, let me give you some context about life. We don't like these things like buffering during watching videos or loss of internet connection while making some transaction or loss of power cut during summers, and it becomes frustrating when it happens again and again like this. Just imagine yourself, you're having a conversations and you are during your conversations you're having these kind of experience, and in public speaking these kind of experiences are called filler words, pauses, such as well, repeated words and pauses. So today my role is to record these kind of filler words and pauses, and I will record these things during the entire session, and at the end of the session I will submit my report. So that's it from my end. Thank you so much. Best of luck everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jatin. Our last supplementary role player would be the grammarian, who would be tracking down each improper or incorrect usage of grammar that we say on this virtual platform. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Santesh onto the stage and explain her role about the grammarian.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This evening, I'm playing a role of a grammarian. I will be carefully observing, listening, and noting down the language used, choice of words, tenses, articles, sentence structure, and particular idioms and phrases used by all the speakers this evening. I'm also responsible for selecting the word of the day and the idiom of the day, which adds like one more useful word or an idiom to your vocabulary. The word of the day that I have chosen is egregious. It means very, very bad, outstandingly bad, really bad or offensive. The synonyms of the words are, synonyms of this word are gross, outrageous, notorious, shocking, intolerable. For example, we can use it like, the judge said it was the most egregious act he has ever seen. I can't believe you have used such egregious words when you're angry. The meal I had in that restaurant was extremely egregious. The student has made egregious errors in his examination. The idiom of the day that I have proposed is break a leg. And this is an idiom usually used just before someone is going to perform. It's supposed to be a way of wishing someone good luck. For example, don't worry, break a leg. They will love you. When my daughter went for her first ever Toastmasters table topic contest, I told her, don't worry, go my love, break a leg. At the end of this meeting, I shall report incorrect and unique grammar used by all the speakers. I shall also announce who used the word of the day and idiom of the day correctly or incorrectly. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian. That would be all from me for this segment. I would hand the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, and I would come back in the third segment where I'll present my evaluation. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you, GE man. So taking meeting further, our meeting is divided into three parts. First is prepare section, second is table topic section, and third is evaluation part. So let's start our meeting with first session, that is prepare session. So our first speaker is Toastmaster Santesh. So before calling
I think there is a technical glitch on the end.
Okay, so before we call upon Shamin for the first speaker, I would request our evaluator, Toastmaster Vinita, to read out the project objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So our speaker, today's first speaker is Toastmaster Sharmine, and the purpose of her project is to present the speech on the topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. I wish all the best to Sharmine and go and just break a leg. All the best, Sharmine.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santesh. Toastmaster Vinita. So I would just like to call stage on Toastmaster Ceremony. Before that, I ask her question: what is your life current goal, and how you make it happen in your life? So she replied very beautifully. Hello.
Chanda, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Chanda, you are logged in from 2 devices. Which one is?
Yeah. Right now I'm from mobile. I'm from laptop only.
Okay,
Mobile
should
is
I
off.
mute the mobile one then?
Okay.
Sure. Please continue.
Yeah, I already muted it.
Okay.
Sorry. So I asked to Saramin that what is your life current goal and how you make it happen in your life. She replied very beautifully. Learn as much as you can. I can reading more books and writing more untold stories. And how she achieved this task by prioritizing the time on important things and better planning, doing it on everyday basis. Toastmaster Saramin, before social media, I had a life. Before social media, I had a life. Toastmaster Saramin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chanda. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My speech is before social media, I had a life. Now, I'm going to say that not to sound like a spoil sport, but to be helpful. So, when I was in school, around in 8th or 9th grade, I was introduced to Facebook, MySpace, Orkut, Yahoo Messenger, and I'm sure you must have heard all of these names. Now, before before all of these uh, platforms came into our life, it was a bit mundane. But after this social media, these platform in our lives, it was a bit revolutionary. It was fun that people exchanged their ideas and thoughts. They started communicating with each other. It was chaos. It was entertainment, but people loved that chaos and people wanted to be in that chaos. But most of these platforms had a shorter lifespan than our phones, washing machines, or even our television, and only a handful of them survived. And these handful of them would be maybe Facebook or Instagram or maybe Twitter. But during this pandemic, these platforms have become our life, and they have become our life, and we can't do without them, and especially during this pandemic. Yes, you would ask me, like, what do we do without our phones, because there's nothing much to do. But I would say otherwise. There's a lot much to do than just be on social media. Now let me tell you, if I had if what my life would be if I had no social media. I would have had, saved more than 100 hours and maybe learned a new skill, a hobby, maybe learned a new language. We have so many of them in our country. Uh, or maybe would have slept every day for 8 hours, where I just sleep 4 hours and just keep scrolling on my phone in social media till 2 a.m. Maybe I would have actually had that awkward conversation with my one of my relatives when I'm back home and I was just ignoring or maybe doing something on my phone. or maybe would have explored life by traveling, though I don't recommend that at the moment. Uh, or, we, or most probably would have learned to bake a cake and not would have dependent on my mom, or maybe had written a written letter to my loved ones to surprise them with an unusual surprise. But instead, we all stick to our phones and keep scrolling them mindlessly, and for what? For nothing. Or maybe post statuses on social media and let the world know that we are happy or sad, only to see, uh, an ad of an ice cream next to it to make ourselves happy. And believing in fake news is published by social media, playing quizzes or games online for so many hours only to forget our outdoor games, and posting filtered images only to gather those couple of likes. We have isolated ourselves from our family members just to spend those extra hours on being on social media. But later, what do we get? In return, we suffer from mental illness, depression, addiction, and anxiety. These are the effects of using overuse social media. And all for what? Like giving these MNCs millions of datas just to use it against us and show us the things which we don't need, show us the ads about things we already have, and show us data which is not actually accurate, which is uh, which is manipulated, which is fragmented. Who thought about who thought that these friendly little platforms would be capable of these? On the flip side, I won't say that social media has zero positive. It has its positive. In fact, it has little instances also where you could say, where people have found their loved ones, where people have found their long lost friends, their family members, which people didn't have hopes to find them. And also it has this uh, positive side to even save lives, through marking ourselves safe during a pandemic, during an earthquake, during a flood, and also getting alerts for millions of peoples before something bad is going to happen, like floods and uh, tsunami, and the list is endless. And and also and also the positive side is also that the DIY hacks, the DIY hacks, the videos which we can't do without, and also like an open platform for people where they didn't know, where they have an open platform to actually uh, open platform for people like artists, singers, writers, poets to express themselves. The list is endless, but we can't forget the downside of it. The downside of it, which I already mentioned, the mental illness, the addictiveness, the depression. And if given to the younger children at a very tender age, it can become a disaster because they will never know the difference between a real life and a virtual life. Now, social media but was made by man for communicating with people, sharing thoughts and ideas, being with each other, sharing content and healthy ideas, and marking ourselves and being safe and saving lives and all of that. But we had seen majorly the downside of it. And also, not to forget, one of the biggest scandals of our century, the data scandal, the Cambridge Analytica. All in all, why I say, before social media, I had a life, because before so because before social because before social media, I had nothing to think about in terms of privacy, uh, about people, what they're going to think about me when I post a picture, about cyberbullying, etc. And above all, the fear of missing out. Before social media, my life was quite simple. Before social media, I had a life. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, TMOD. Chanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saramin. I would request to everyone that please share your comments in her personal chat box about feedback so she can improve in her next speech. And she really beautifully balanced the social media thoughts. What is profit and what is the demerit? Kudos for this thing. So I would request to share your feedback in her chat box. I would request to share everyone about their thoughts in chat box, how they have make happen things in their life. Yeah. So now it's time to call our second speakers. Our second speaker is TM Cyril. Before that, I want to call her evaluator Toastmaster Meenakshi to speak out her speech objective. Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chandra. Well, the objective of this speech is to to speak on any topic, receive feedback, apply feedback. In the next second speech, Toastmaster Cheryl would be doing level 1, project 1. And I wish all the very best to Toastmaster Cheryl. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. So now I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Cyril. Before that, I ask her a question. What is your current life goal and how you make it happen? So she replied very beautifully. Focus on my growth and development. How she achieving it, work on feedback constantly she is getting from other. That is a really nice thought. We should also work on our feedback. So Toastmaster Cyril, fake it to make it, fake it to make it, Toastmaster Cyril. Thank you.
Hello and good evening to all. Um, there are times I could have outperformed myself. I'm sure many of us here at some point of their life have come across this thought. Fake it till you make it. The concept that if you act more confident than you feel, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. There are times we have immense knowledge and skill on a particular topic, but we lack confidence sometimes to achieve it. It's like almost losing what was meant to be yours. Some say it is all in your head. And yes, that's true. Our thinking impacts our life and actions. What you think directly influences how you feel and how you behave. So if you think you are a failure, you will feel like a failure. Then you'll act like a failure, which enforces your belief that you must be a failure. I would like to share a short story here. When I was in 11th grade, I spontaneously was selected for a district level challenge for javelin throw. Just before 15 days, I had just 15 days before I had the pitch ground with other strong players there who must be practicing for days now. Simultaneously, I was helping the teachers with a big annual function in the school. I was scared a lot of I was scared a lot at that time. How will I prepare myself for the challenge? How will I take out time to practice? There was a lot going inside my head. I took out, I told myself, opportunities are meant to be grabbed like no other will appear for decades. So I took out time after school and between breaks to warm up and practice. Mostly, I used to fake confidence and tell myself you are going to win. Even I used to fail badly in my practice sessions. After days of practice, the challenge day suddenly appeared in front of me. Only hours before the challenge, my hand and feet were cramped, felt cramped. I could not move my hand absolutely. This this is the time to fake it until make it, Cheryl. I thought inside my head. Otherwise, why did you even practice? My chance came closer and my hands got sweatier than it could ever be. As as I performed my chance, I told my whole body use all the energy because now or never. I won. Finally, I won a bronze at district level. Faking it until it got actually real for me. I was so happy, filled with confidence to just flaunt my victory. And yeah, faking it, faking is not always the answer to every question or situation or a solution. Or is it? Thank you, everyone. Over to you, TMOD.
Wonderful speech by Toastmaster. So I would request to everyone, please give feedback on her personal chat. So before I asked to Toastmaster Amit, what is her current goal and how he achieved this goal. So he said, my life current goal is eat healthy, and how he achieve it? Good eating habit and start exercising. That is really interesting. I want to also follow same rule in my life. Hope everyone we also follow eating healthy and good exercise. Yeah. So now I would like to call our third speaker. That is our Toastmaster signing star, Toastmaster Mandakini. Before that, I would like to call his speaker, Toastmaster Amit, on the stage to speak out her speech objective. Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chanda, and very good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Mandakini going to deliver her level 3 project 1 speech. The purpose of this project for the member to practice using vocal variety to enhance a speech. I wish all the best to the Toastmaster Mandakini. Go ahead and break a leg. Over to you, Toastmaster Chanda.
Thank you. Yeah. Before calling to Toastmaster Mandakini, I asked to Toastmaster Mandakini, what is your life current goal and how you make it happen in your life? And I got very interesting reply from her side. My current life goal is to launch my YouTube channel, and how she make it happen in her life. I am getting all kind of technical knowledge and our coming from my camera signage, and soon I'll be on the reels. So we are hoping you see on the reel very soon, Toastmaster Mandakini. Toastmaster Mandakini, love at first swipe, Toastmaster Mandakini.
Disclaimer. All the characters in my upcoming speech are non-fictional. Any resemblance to the living or dead is purely intentional. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Winter is here. Exactly 2 years back, around this time, my best friend got married. And when your best friend gets married, you not only lose a partner in crime, but also you get very bored. You just have so much of time at hand that you start breaking your head against the walls. So my well-meaning friends, but wicked also at the same time, they suggested that I should download an app. Ironically, That app rhymes with be kinder. I downloaded the app and I absolutely, like a politically neutral person, was bungling at the app. With the current situation in India, in politics, you just can't be neutral. You either have to be left-winged or you have to be right-winged. Exactly what's that app? I didn't know what to do and I just swiped right. Ting! I matched. I was shocked to see a very handsome man, 6 feet tall, beer chugging. If you want to contact him at his home, and if he's not there, you can contact him at the gym. I said, perfect. I love working out. I can maybe exchange some tips. And we decided to meet at Starbucks. On the fateful day, I reached Starbucks at 6 p.m. The usuals was all around. The sound of the coffee machine, 10 people sitting together and listening very attentively to a man. Of course, the newest pyramid scheme. A corner couple who are looking into each other's eyes. Of course, the world doesn't exist. And the most importantly, a guy in the corner, the wannabe entrepreneur, with an empty cafe glass. And with that empty cafe glass, he bought 5 hours of free internet and a space in South Delhi. Wow. I was seated and I was waiting. Hey, babes. Hi. Hey, Mandy. Hi. How are you? Please have a seat. Hey, babes. Lovely seeing you here. Wonderful. Yes. I gave some thought to the person in front of me. His biceps were larger than my bank balance. His t-shirt was louder than the local politician. His vocab was almost shying away from Oxford because it didn't exist. Okay, Hardeep, what will you like to have? No, babes, nothing. My diet says nothing. Okay, no problem. Okay. So, babes, what do? I'm in marketing. Oh, yes, I know what is this marketing. I really like those girls at Domino's and Pizza Hut who bill and give us food. No, Hardeep, not like that. Slightly different. Oh, no, I know. You are in lifestyle. You help people buy the clothes. Okay. When I escaped the gravity of that Hulk and I reached my home, I, of course, did not know what I want in my date, but I did know that what I don't want in my date. I felt Guddu Bhaiya is great in Mirzapur too. In real life, I can't bear him. I offloaded the app, took a 1 month of peace, and I downloaded the app once again with high hopes. Swipe, match. I'm just 70 million out of 70 million. I'm 1 out of 70 million women. How difficult it is to get a match in India, if you know. And then this time the guy looked like an investment banker. Nerdy, intellectual discussions, beaches greater than mountains, wine greater than whiskey, and chai greater than coffee. It's a match made in heaven. We decided to ditch the green mermaid with open hair and went to Chaios. I entered Chaios and lovely it was. Total contrast to the Starbucks. Here, a group of parents were sitting with their kids, describing the Indian political system. There were few kurta lad people discussing and debating the future of our Indian society. And then there were that couple who were having the same kullad wala chai, of course. And then I was there. And while I was seated, this guy comes. Hi, Mandakini ji. Hi, Shrikant. Have a seat. So what do you do, Mandakini ji? I'm in marketing. Oh, Mandakini ji, I really know what is marketing. It is absolutely great. It is a very important function in any organization. You help made ads, positioning. You're so important to any company. Oh, wow, Shrikant, you actually explained it better than me. I almost felt like an interview answer. Can I write it? Oh, Mandakini ji, you're so funny. No, Shrikant, I really mean it. Okay, and the conversation continued. I felt it's okay, I can bear this guy. If also this guy talks like he's writing an application in class 7 to his English teacher, so what? And the conversation flowed. He was dropping me back in his car, and the Bluetooth of his mobile was connected to the car. It was some 90s song, but the Baba Sehgal rap was coming to my mind. Oh, watch a match. It's like a catch. Oh, what a match. It's like a catch. And all of a sudden, my reverie was broken. You know, when the Bluetooth is connected, all you guys take note. When the Bluetooth is connected in the car, the name flashes who is calling. And I saw Wi-Fi calling. I said, why a Wi-Fi would call? Then I saw closer. Wife calling. Wife of a husband calling. Shrikantji is a husband. Oh, this bloody Shrikant is a husband. A short love story. Heart attack at the first swipe. I flipped my hair, got out of the car. Tomorrow is a new day, and I'm a brave woman. I still believe at love at first swipe. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Chanda.
Oh, lovely speech, really. So I would request to everyone, please give feedback to Toastmaster Mandakini in her personal chat so she can improve in her next speech. I asked to Toastmaster Paramjot, what is your current goal and how you achieve in your life? He said, I want to be better from today. And he told how he achieving, keep trying new things in his life. And that is really great. We should keep trying new things in our life that give us more confidence and energy to take our goal further in our life. So now it's time to call charming and sweet Toastmaster Santia. Before that, I would like to call on stage her speaker Toastmaster Amir to speak out her speech objective. Toastmaster Amir. Toastmaster Amir, are you there? Yes.
Amir is in the room, but I cannot see him speaking. Yes.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, Amir, you are audible and visible.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and sorry for the interruption. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. There are two purpose statements of this speech that the speaker will be delivering today. The first one is for the member to learn about the practice of facilitating a question and answer session. And number two is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and then running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time appropriately so that both of our tasks are taken care of, delivering the speech as well as managing the Q&A session. Now, I have a sincere request from everybody. Number one is to please put your cameras on throughout when the speaker is delivering her speech. It helps the speaker, makes the speech more interesting and interactive. Number two is that one of our objectives is to manage a Q&A session. So please listen to her speech attentively and be ready with at least one question towards the end and ask from her so that her objective of practicing managing a Q&A session is fulfilled. Thank you. I'll present my report towards the end when called upon by the General Evaluator. All the best to the speaker.
Yeah, so I asked to Toastmaster Santia that what is her current goal and how she make it happen in her life. So she said commitment to improve physical health and how she achieving it. I am doing yoga for 30 minutes and now I am targeting for 1 hour. That is really great. Toastmaster Santia, holistic healing, Toastmaster Santia.
Hi, am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. If a diet is wrong, then what's the use of taking the medicine? And if your diet is right, there is no need to take medicine, isn't it? How many of us agree with this point? Raise your hands. Thank you. Good evening, Toastmaster guests, and to the holistic people who have gathered here together to listen to my holistic story. Today, before I share my experience, I would like to highlight and talk about this particular person who is none other than Dr. Nandita Shah. Now, who is she? She is the founder of Sharon, which means Sanctuary for Health and Reconnecting to Animals and Nature. The short form is Sharon. Now, what does she do? She has done her medicine in Mumbai. And in 1981, since that time, she was focusing only on nutrition and health. And one day it so happened that she saw how animals like cow, they are being tortured in order to get the milk products. And don't you think, are we all forced to have milk since our childhood days? Yes. All our mothers, parents, and everyone around us, they used to run behind us and say, have milk, have milk, have milk. But we do not know the real story behind how the animals are getting tortured. And what do we get from that? We just only get the bacteria and pus, isn't it, friends? We need to start thinking and stop having myth that having milk is good for us. We need to bring that change, isn't it? Nowadays, people's mind and body has become egregious. During this pandemic time, it is important for all of us to realize how we need to bring that small change in our life, day-to-day life, in our cooking. Having said about this, Dr. Nandita Shah, she has won this prestigious Nari Shakti Award in 2016 for her excellent work done in food and nutrition. And what was her main aim of starting this sharing? Her one and only main aim of starting this sharing was to provide a holistic health by one and only giving importance to the health. Friends, it is important for all of us to understand our own body has the healing capacity. And when we are in pain, we can find out symptoms. It gives us symptoms, isn't it? Am I right? Yes? Yes. It is said that just simply by having a natural diet, good exercise, and having the calmness in mind, these three things would suffice to have a holistic health. And for many diseases, this would suffice to help and solve a lot of problems. This Nandita Shah, she wanted to solve the problem of myth which we are having, that we cannot reverse diabetes. Not only diabetes or hypertension, a lot of lifestyle diseases. Earlier, if you see, there used to be only 5% people who had this diabetes. But now, everybody, 1 in 6 Indians, they are suffering from diabetes. Friends, it is important to take the time and think about this. Now, I would like to, having understood about who is Dr. Nandita Shah and what is Sharon and her contribution, I would like to share my own personal experience. Last year, when I visited Hypercity, I saw that there were a lot of Sharon products which were getting sold. And I didn't buy anything. I simply gave my number to get added in WhatsApp. I was remaining silent for the entire 1 year. And it was this pandemic situation, I started thinking, why not get back to basics and start learning this cooking? She conducts a lot of webinars, seminars, 21-day diabetes reversal session, and a lot of other sessions. Even if you want to reduce weight, she just says, we need to replace those simple things of whether it is oil or whole wheat of refined sugar with the entire plant-based food, which we call it as vegan diet. And one day, during this pandemic situation, I started looking at WhatsApp and I enrolled for this basic cooking online course. And while I started watching it, I could see and incorporated some of those small little meticulous details I replaced while making dosa. I used to, instead of pouring the oil, I used to swipe with the onion and pour dosa. And believe me, it was so crispy and tasty. So I replaced personally oil with this onion. And even to do the normal tempering for dal or for sambar or rasam or any South Indian dishes, it is not at all required to do tempering with oil, because of the only reason that mustard has the capacity which has oil inside mustard or itself. And that is where I also started doing that. It is important for us to bring these small changes. And my only request to you all is, from next time, whenever we think of doing tempering or using the oil, let's think, what can we substitute? What is the next substitute? Let's remove the myth of drinking milk has a lot of calcium. No, there are various other substitutes. Let us start incorporating all these small things. Next time, whenever you buy anything, just think, is it plant-based? Is it whole food? Is it vegan? Let's stop exploiting the animals and stop having these animal products and try to find the alternatives. And let's try to cure ourselves and be a better version, live a healthy, energetic, and happy life. Over to you. I request the timer to please stop with the timings and again start with the timing for the Q&A session, please.
Sure, done.
Yes, may I request all of them to please ask your queries?
Okay, is my voice audible?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a really nice speech and the concept is very nice. But then most of the animals which we have, the poultry, the fishes, the cows that we have, they are kind of not naturally occurring because of the capitalistic society. We kind of breed them. So even if, if suddenly everybody turns like vegan, then I mean, the whole existence of these animals would uh, you're getting what I'm saying, right? These animals, they would not have existed if we would have been like vegan. These are all forced breeded animals that we have. And to make such a massive change in this capitalistic society where, everything is driven by profits. And in fact, we know that, to be healthy, we need to eat this and do exercise. But we also are in such a compulsive lifestyle that it becomes very difficult to change those habits and, bet against this capitalistic society. So what do you suggest that as a whole culture and masses we do?
Okay. See, as you rightly pointed out, we are having this particular myth of drinking milk. Everything is there, but we need to know the reason how much we are exploiting these animals. I know it's a mass change, and we can't do it on a bulk basis, which means each and every person has to take that single step to slowly change. I'm not saying in totality to avoid milk, because even to digest that, it takes a lot of time for all of us, right? Because we have been told continuously and consistently that have milk, have milk, have milk. It is there in our minds. But yes, nowadays with a lot of other social networking and other things, we are exposed to so many information, and hence it is important for us to realize and take small steps. I would personally suggest you to take that single step so that we can not only we make ourselves bring that change, but also make others aware about this. And thank you for asking this question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, as you were talking about the online classes, cooking classes. So I am also planning to take that online classes. So how it is a beneficial taking online cookery classes?
Okay. Say personally, thank you, Chanda, for asking this question. I also took the online basic cooking course, but my initial thought was, what will I get out of it? So what they told was, it is like a 1 month course where they shared a list of videos displaying every video. One example which I told you earlier, how by creating, they have their pre-recorded videos which they share, and even the doctor personally does each and every recipe. When I say recipe, she showed how to make some sabji for chapati even without using the tempering, and how to introduce substitutes like peanut butter. She displays the entire process in the form of a video, and she explains it very well. And it is, most importantly, what I felt was it was very much convincing. Though I can understand in entirety we cannot change, but yes, if we start understanding how much it is good for us and it is for our own good, I personally felt that this online class, and it was not only costly, it costed around hardly 1,500 or so, but I thought it was value for money. It is going to bring that change. If you're not going to use oil, then if you look at the value, then I think attending this session, you will get the knowledge. Because always we have in our mind, offline we have to go, offline we have to go. But I think because online has become the new normal, I found a value for money and I got the knowledge. And hence I request you also to please try and share this information with others. And the website is sharanindia.org. Thank you, Chanda.
Sandhya, I have a couple of questions. Okay. What are some easy substitutes for milk? Question number one.
Okay.
And second question is, a lot of rural economy depends on milk and milk-based products. You know, the entire white revolution, which was started by Thomas Verghese Kurian, and which Indians are very proud of. So when the culture of not drinking milk starts, what will happen to the livelihood of a lot of rural women, lot of rural people?
Right. So thank you. You asked a lot of questions, Ashutosh. I will try to answer that. The first question seems to be relatively easy. Yes, for calcium, instead of milk, we can use sesame seeds, which has got a lot of calcium, and the green leafy vegetables and nuts and seeds. It can be used. That is for point number one. And for question number two is, yes, I also agree partly to what you said, but I think for this message to spread and for all, they're not going to do it on day one, right? And all of them are not going to accept it. So people are going to change. Maybe out of 100%, 40 to 50% might change. Another 40 to 50% will still continue. They are not going to listen anyways. So I feel that it is not going to go to their livelihood will not get affected.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Sandhya.
Yeah, thanks, Ashutosh.
Sandhya, hi, Unmesh here.
Hi, Unmesh.
I have one question. For doing this speech, other than doing the online classes, did you also read some books about what inspired you to go, without milk, without oil? Or it was just the online classes that inspired you to do this?
Thank you, Unmesh, for asking this question. So what happened was, as I said, I simply enrolled and gave my number to Sharon in WhatsApp group, and they added my name. For the past 1 year, I was not at all active. I simply used to receive messages. And generally, when film actors and all, they started promoting this. They should not use milk. You should not use milk. It is better to find out alternatives. And I was simply ignoring, because day in and day out, it has been in our minds that how can we live without milk? Then slowly I started realizing that why not try? Especially in this pandemic situation, it is important that we do some kind of introspection and see, are we doing it right? Just like how we do in Toastmasters, are we doing it right? And that is why I thought, why not try this? When they are simply saying replace milk, replace food, what is there in it for me? I started getting a lot of videos, and I went to this website sharanindia.org and I started reading this, and I attended one seminar. It was conducted during this pandemic 3 months back. So it was an hour session. That time I understood how much these animals are getting tortured, and that is where I really felt, hey, no, we are doing this mistake even without knowing. So why not try to bring that change? And that made me enroll for this session. And that is where I thought, okay, there are alternatives. It is just that we are not aware, we are not thought through. And it is important to somewhere start that change. And that is how I started, Urmesh.
Okay. Thank you, Sandhya.
Thanks,
Hi,
Urmesh.
Sandhya. Jatin here.
Hi, Jatin.
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for bringing that much information, and I completely agree that somebody raised these topics, and like sometimes people just connect with these things like with religions and turn like these things. And I completely agree how these animals get exploited. What my query would be around like, how do you make sure whatever substitutes you are using, they are beneficial for your body and like they are not harming you? What I'm getting, like as you said, like instead of oil, you can use onion and other substitutes. So how do you make sure the substitutes you are using, they are not harming you or they
See,
are good for you?
okay. Jatin, due to lack of time, I would like to answer in one
15 minutes,
sentence.
30 seconds over.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I would
If the
like to
time
hand
is
it
up,
over to
we
you.
will
I'll
connect
take it
offline.
offline, Jatin.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santia, for lovely detailed Q&A. First time I ever experienced with such kind of a Q&A, and it is a really great experience. So I would request to all members, please give her feedback on her personal chat so she can improve in her next speech. And that is a really great experience. I have experienced how you answered each and everything and entertained to everybody question answer in detail one. That is a really, really great. So please keep sharing feedback on personal chat.
Request Mayank to also launch poll after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Param, should I launch the poll
Go ahead, Mayank.
for the best speaker? Just
I request everybody to please vote.
waiting for 10 more votes.
So now I would request to everyone, please vote. And now we are taking our meeting further. That is the most happening and exciting section. That is table topic section. Everyone is very curiosity to start this section. So now I would like to hand over stage our debutant Toastmaster Sandeep. Now stage is yours, Toastmaster Sandeep.
So it usually takes me 2 to 3 days to prepare for an impromptu speech. These are the famous wordings of an American writer, humorist, entrepreneur, also known as father of American literature, Mark Twain. So good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. The purpose of Topic Master is to facilitate the table topics where guests and the members will have the opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking skills. Learning impromptu speaking will help you to develop self-confidence for giving last-minute presentations so that you are not really egregious, sail through challenging meetings, or convincing others about your ideas. Table topics helps you to develop critical and organized thinking skills as you have to think quickly. So before moving into the session, let me once again remind all the speakers the timings. So each speaker will get 1 to 2 minutes. Any speaker who will speak less than 1 minute will be disqualified. There will be 30 seconds grace time is available. So the speaker can speak 2 minutes, 30 seconds, or else the speaker will get disqualified. And for nominating yourself for the table topics, you have to write your name in the chat box, and I'll be really calling those people for the topic. The topics are around the theme of the day, make it happen. So I request all the members, especially our guests, to really nominate your names in the chat box so that I can invite
Toastmaster Aditya has written his name.
Okay. So Toastmaster Aditya, so I have numbers 1 to 10.
1, 1.
1.
1.
Okay. So your topic is each day comes once in a lifetime.
Well, that's a very interesting question. And I hope I'll break a leg while answering this. So it's almost a cliche that each day comes once in your life. And we often go, every day it's almost like a greyhound. If you have seen the movie Greyhound, in which it's almost like repeating in a loop, even though we think that each day is different, after going through the course of the day and all the things we do, it seems as if we are repeating it in a loop like a stuck record. But how do we come out of it? We try to do, even if we're doing the same thing. Let's say one day we get up at 6 a.m., the other day we get up at 6:30. Or we have a schedule for the day depending on the nature of our profession, whether we are students or any other thing. So this topic would basically mean that we try to do something different in that limited time period we have, let's say 12 hours in a day, whether it's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., depending on that. But the fundamental question is, even if each day comes once in a life, it almost feels as if it's being repeated, yet it's all in the mind to make sure that we don't feel like it's being repeated. For example, if I'm binge watching X TV series on Monday, I would binge watch Y on Tuesday, but eventually will binge watch. Even if I'm attending 2 or 3 Toastmaster meetings, I'm eventually attending a Toastmaster meeting, even if there are 2 different clubs. So does each day come once in a life? That is relative. That's an interesting idea, but eventually it's like a gray groundhog day. Back to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. Wonderfully said how you really look your day in your life every day, which is it. Moving forward, so I have a nomination from guest Rahul. So guest Rahul, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you have to pick a number from number 2 to 10.
Okay, I picked the number 3.
You pick a number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so your topic is stop saying I wish, start saying I will.
Okay, thank you. Okay, a very good evening to everyone. My name is Rahul. So, dreams are a very vital part of human existence. I mean, since we are a child, we are asked almost every time, what do you dream of becoming? What do you dream to be when you grow up? And this pattern, in fact, continues, in fact, when we are grown up, because, when we are at the age when we should have achieved everything, people ask us, what do you dream of? What do you dream to be in the next 4 years, 5 years? So I think for us, dreaming has become a perpetual state of existence, which I think should change, because, if you want to achieve something, dream it, yes, but then, do something about it. So being from a project management background, my suggestion to you is, if you dream something, just wake up, take out a piece of paper, write it down, sleep on it again, perhaps wake up next day, try to write, all the to-do list. Okay, so these are the things that I need to do to make that happen. So have a game plan. Joker sounds nice in a movie, a man without a plan, but in reality, if you do need to get from point A to point B, if you in fact want to achieve your dream, you should be a man with a plan. Thank you. Or else you'll have a very egregious future, which of course we do not want. Yeah. Back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Sorry, guest Rahul. Really wonderful. Yes, we should all have a plan in our life. So moving forward, the next nomination I've got from Toastmaster Sonika. So Toastmaster Sonika, you have to pick a number except 1 and 3.
Okay, 1 and 3. 6.
Okay. So your topic is, Toastmaster Sonika, is to heal a wound, you need to stop touching it. So I'll repeat, to heal a wound, you need to stop touching it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the topic, and good evening, everyone. To heal a wound, it is important to stop touching it. It is absolutely right statement, because wounds are usually in our minds. If we do not forget our wounds from our, if we do not, keep out the wounds from our mind, then we won't be able to forget them, and we will be keep watching towards the wound, and they will get refreshed every day. So it is important we do not look at the wound, and an incident happened with me as well. Actually, it was a real accident, and it was in a trip. So I have made a speech on that as well. So now when I look at that when I look at that incident, when my accident happened, so so I just forget about the so I forget about the accident and the wounds, and I just tried enjoying my trip and enjoyed the weather there, and it healed on time, because every wound takes time, and that wound will take time. So it will not make any difference to keep looking at that. So let it be, and just move on. And this is how you will live your life. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika. And yes, as you rightly said, in our life, we have so many challenges, and many times we really get hurt. And it's only we have to stop thinking about those challenging times or the hurt we have. So moving forward, so the next nomination is guest Ashutosh. So guest Ashutosh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to pick a number from between 1 to 10, except 1, 3, and 6.
I'll pick 7.
So yeah, okay, number 7. Okay, so your topic is, guest Ashutosh, celebrate every win, no matter how small.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. So the topic is celebrate every win, no matter how small, which is a very positive statement for anyone. In our life, we all have small wins, small failures, big failures. But whether the win is small or big, it should not be the deciding factor of whether we should celebrate or not. Because celebration brings out the part in ourselves which is cheerful, which is positive, that yes, I achieved this, I'll achieve more. So success, like we say, success, nothing succeeds like success. So we have to break the leg and celebrate even the small wins. Even I should say, we should also celebrate the failures, because failures are the stepping stones of success. And in life is a series of success and failures. So celebration should not be, there should not be a reason which should tell us that whether we celebrate or not. So yes, we should celebrate the wins or failures, small or big. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep.
Thank you, guest Ashutosh. Completely agree with your statement that we should celebrate failures also, not just even a small success or a win, but even the failures also. So the next nomination is Toastmaster Rustam. So Toastmaster Rustam, pick a number between 1 to 10, except 1, 3, 6, 7.
10.
Okay. So your topic is, Toastmaster Rustam, is fear doesn't stop death, it stops life. I'll repeat. Fear doesn't stop death, it stops life.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. Fear doesn't stop death, it stops life. I think this topic is very well and very well organized, and everyone can relate to such topic. So when you start living in fear, the moment you enter that very stage of fear, your life, you come to a halt. Your life come to an halt. it stops. You are not living the very moment in which you are present. Now there are 3 moments in life, that is the past, present, and the future. No one knows the future, but everyone knows the past, but and the present you live in. So if you are fearing of something, if such as for example, now there's a guy or there's a bully in a school, you are fearing, you have a fear from him, and you don't want to go to school. So but that fear will only go when you will face him or her. So fear, I think you need to get yourself away from fear. You need to make that fear your strong point. You people people start fearing, and they do not want to try something. If something is new, then they fear that they might fail, or they fear that they will be laughed. But I don't think that should happen. Even fear should make you strong, and you should make you should make fear your strength point. uh, Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. Back to you.
Okay, great Toastmaster Rustam. So only I have last 2 minutes left. So the last nomination is Toastmaster Santesh. So Toastmaster Santesh, pick a number except 1, 3, 6, 7, and 10.
2.
Hello. Okay, 2. Okay, so Toastmaster Santesh, your topic is I can and I will. Break a leg, Toastmaster Santesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. I can and I will. Why not? There is nothing to fear. And if I have this strong commitment that I can do anything in life, what am I going to fear? No, nothing. I don't fear anything. I will make my life. It is my life. It is in my control. I will make it happen. Yes, that is the kind of philosophy that I live my life with. I can do anything. If I continue to speak this into my mind, I continue to say this to myself, I don't think I have to ever fear a failure. If I can do anything, I will. I am looking forward to a life of positivity. And this is what I want to pass on to my daughters, to my family. This is the kind of positivity that I want to see around me. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep, and over to you now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santesh. Wonderful sayings. And before going back to Toastmaster of the day, so that I am not egregious on my timing for the table topics. So back to you, Toastmaster Chanda.
Thank you for wonderful table topic speech. Now I would like to say, everyone, please vote for the best table topic speaker. So now I would like to take meeting further. That is our most exciting section is evaluation part. And for that, I would like to hand over stage our general evaluator Toastmaster Mayank. Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chanda. Param, before I begin, I think the presiding officer has some announcement.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'll hand the stage to Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayank. So everyone has know that next week we are going to celebrate Diwali, and to take a firm decision for the availability of all the members, we have suggested 2 timings. So Mayank, can you run a poll here? Thank you so much. I request everybody to please vote a time which is suitable for everyone so that we can take decision of the next meeting. Because I think Lakshmi Puja is on 14th by most of what we get to know from our members. And it will be difficult for most of the members. So 15 November on Sunday, we are looking at 4 p.m. We are looking to conduct the meeting. It will be a short meeting. There will be no Make Me Better session there. Only a 2 hours meeting will be there.
Param, we have received 16 to 17 votes. I think we are good to go.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayank. We got your answer. Thank you so much. The next announcement, which is very important for every one of us, if you want to gain experience as a leader, now is a time. Next month, on 6th of December, on 5th of December, we're going to have our EC election. There will be a change of guards, and now the next EC will be decided. As you know, voting and polling is quite trending in the world, whether it's US, whether it's Bihar, and now it comes to South Delhi Toastmaster also. We're going to select our new leaders for the next 6 months, and this is an opportunity for all the members to become more than a member. You will learn a lot. I have gained a lot of experience along with a lot of weight. But yes, that experience will be lifelong, and that will definitely make sure and definitely making you a confident person in life. So now I would like to call the journal evaluator to proceed with the evaluation segment of the meeting. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Mayank as journal evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param. As Toastmaster Param said, that elections are happening next month. We won't have to wait very long for the election results to come out. At SDTM, we work at blazingly fast speed. So I think election result will be out in 5 minutes after the vote. So now we have come to the third segment of our meeting, that is the evaluation segment. So the first speaker was Toastmaster Shaman and our evaluator was Toastmaster Vinita. So I would request Toastmaster Vinita to come onto the stage and present her evaluation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank. Before social media, I had a life. Toastmaster Sharmine, before social media, I too had a life. And thank you so much for narrating this entire experience of yours and also bringing out so many stories which everybody could relate. What I thoroughly loved about your this entire speech was your speech was really very well organized. The introduction, the body part, the conclusion, everything was really relatable and very well organized. And it also justified the entire the title of the speech. The language of the speech was very simple, clear, and was understood by, I hope, by everyone. I understood it very clearly. In your entire speech, you were very calm and composed. That actually made me feel like, just keep listening to your speech. You keep on talking and I just keep listening. Apart from this, you also use some good words like mundane, manipulated, and fragmented. On the flip side, there were certain good words that were used in the during the speech. I encourage you to use the same in the coming future speeches also. As it is rightly said that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So here are the few recommendations from my end. My first recommendation to you is about voice modulation. With an example, I would just like to see if like an example, a lot more can be done apart from the social media. I would have saved 100 hours and learned language and sleep well for 8 hours in this way. You could have used certain hand gestures, like for an example, shortest span of life. There were certain pauses which you could have added in the speech, which would help to create greater impact and hold the interest of the audience. Overall, I simply love this speech. You actually spoke from the heart and used real life example, which everybody sitting in this entire forum would have related. I really like the real life example. The content was very well prepared and justified the title. My main takeaway from this entire speech was that social media is created by human and for human. It has both positive and negative side. Now it depends on how we use it. I will now be going forward, will be more engaged in doing things which are more productive and spend less time on social media. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinita. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Cheryl, so I would request her evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi, to present her evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. Well, I would really like to congratulate the speaker, Toastmaster Cheryl. I really like the way she talked about her story, her speech, Fake It Until You Make It. The topic was very exciting and she was very calm while talking about her speech. Her voice was very clear. So my commendations to her are number one, her voice was very clear, which made me understand it clearly what she was trying to communicate. And second, she had a very good storytelling. You know, she mentioned that how she kind of faked in her real life and she won a medal, and that was a real life example which I could really relate to, and I think I would be able to use it in my life also. Third, I would really like, there are few pauses which she took and that really kind of made me understand what she's trying to say and made her point understand to everyone. Few of my recommendations are one, Cheryl, as a speaker, you can stand up, you know, you can use a lot more expressions. You could have looked into the eye, made an eye contact to all the people, right? And the body language, you could have used your hands or you could have stand up. So that would have made the speech more interactive and could, say that you were there present in the speech. Or, it was a bit of monotonous because of, your body language was not there. Second, I would say your voice modulation, can really make it interactive and involve everyone to another level, which I would like to recommend you for your next speeches. The ending could have been better. I felt that, it ended in very, a bit abruptly, which could have been more flawless and all of that. Overall, I really like the speech, and overall, you came across as a very pleasant speaker, which made me understood the topic and which you were trying to communicate. I would say that you made a great, you chose a great topic, and everyone could relate to it. My takeaways from your speech was that you should take it until you make it. There are times when it is very difficult for you to be in a certain situation, but when you try to fake it, by that you actually try to gain some confidence and can help you in longer run. That is about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Our third speaker today was Toastmaster Mandakini, so I would request her evaluator, Toastmaster Amit, to present his evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. Good evening, everyone. Once again, love at first sight, love at first swipe. A very fascinating title with that speaker came. And when speaker added the declaration like all characters and all characters are resembling with the real life, then it make a little more validate these all about the title. Objective, like come to the commendation part, objective of the speech was using the vocal variety. Speaker aptly, intelligently used the vocal variety during her speech, and when it is required, she shown the excitement on the particular points, and on the upper side, she used the well-framed vocal variety. Number two recommendation, like commendation, humor. Speaker beautifully sprinkled the humor across the speech, and everyone loved the speech. I personally loved this speech very well, and I believe everyone enjoyed and loved and laughed during her speech. Personal story: when whenever you came on a platform and share your personal stories, whether these are on the positive side, negative side, people are excited to listen your personal story. And with that, speaker came with these few personal stories, and everyone liked and stay connected with the speaker. But could be the better. I believe technically, well, speaker, when you the discussion interaction with the another person, then I suggest that speaker could go a little back so that the everything could be covered in the camera. So that is there. Now I again like objective of the speak was using the vocal variety. So I believe speaker missed to the vocal variety in the lower side, where speaker can bring the lower part, like when the she saw the call on the from wife, then how she depressed. So then she had a chance to bring the vocal variety from lower side. That and learning, I believe learning could be added, like what she learned from these swipes, and how we can and other people can use these swipes more intelligently in future. So that could be added. The coming again on commendation part, expression and body language was excellently speaker used. If I summarize my whole evaluation, then I can say vocal variety in upper side excellent, personal story humor. My recommendation, like technically could be a little better, and voice modulation could be tried on the lower side. Once again, commendation is expression wonderful. Overall, my takeaway: keep trying. There is no love at first sight until you achieve that. So keep swiping until you achieve your love. That all loves are your first love. That is all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster Miang. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Our last speaker today was Toastmaster Santesh. So I would request an evaluator, Toastmaster Amit, to present his evaluation.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you, Toastmaster Santesh, for delivering that wonderful speech. The first thing that I would like to comment upon is the content. Now, I'm a self-motivated individual, so I like speeches more that are informative and that challenge normal ideas more than speeches that simply tell me to do something in life. So this was one such a speech which gave challenged ideas that were ingrained in my mind since my childhood, and boy, it was so much informative. There was so much information. So kudos on that part. Number two is credibility. I found you very, very credible. And that's why I almost bought into the idea of this holistic healing. Why I found you credible is because you spoke with a lot of conviction. There was so much conviction in which you spoke, plus all of your personal experiences, your association with the organization, online classes, the idea about milk and oil, and all of those things are revolved around your personal experiences. So your conviction and personal stories build credibility. You definitely, Toastmaster Santesh, are an advanced speaker. There were people here who said that they are here just to listen to you. And the comfort with which you spoke clearly showed that you are an advanced speaker. So what could I possibly recommend a speaker like you? I will just say some technical aspects because the basics were just right. Number one was the camera. The video could have been a little brighter. There was darkness, a little bit of darkness in your camera. And the camera could have been more aligned with your eye line, with your eyes, with your sight. So it felt like you were looking down and there was a darkness around. So you could have worked on that aspect. Number two is, so I understand that the format of the speech was such that you had to do Q&A towards the end. And also there was these time constraints. So you had to cut down your speech by half. But no matter what, you could have done some audience engagement in whatever time you had. And to really challenge yourself, you could have done some improvisations in the speech itself. For example, there were so many options that were discussed. You spoke about the idea of milk. You spoke about joining those online classes, about oil, and about there were a lot of ideas that were thrown. And you yourself, even the Q&A answer said that we should take one thing at a time. And people asked you a question about what should we substitute for milk, which shows that people got into the idea, but they were looking for that one small step or what the next step should be. So what you could have done is you could have asked a question right in the beginning, that which is the idea which is most ingrained in your mind. Drinking milk, using oil, you could have explored that option and maybe stuck to one or two ideas and elaborated on them, give clear call to actions. That is something that you could have done better to do audience engagement. The best part of the speech, however, was the Q&A session. I think that was the highest point in the speech. There was constant, you had a constant smile throughout the Q&A session. You did not feel nervous. You thanked everybody who asked you a question. So it was a great job done. Overall, the speech had good content. You were able to build credibility and you handled the Q&A session really well. The only thing that you can work upon is for the technical aspects of your camera and to do some improvisation by doing audience engagement in the speech. Thank you and all the best for your further speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir, for this lovely evaluation. This marks the end of our prepared speeches evaluation. Before we move forward to the next round, let's vote for the best speech evaluator. I am just launching the poll right now. So we have 30 seconds. Let's vote for the best speech evaluator. Ten seconds to go, and we have 4 people who have not voted. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so now we move on to the second segment within the evaluation segment, that is the reports of the supplementary role plays. So at first, I would like to call upon the R counter to present his report. Toastmaster Jatin.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm back with my report. But apart from being an R counter, I thoroughly enjoyed the session as a normal audience. It was so productive and so informative. And now coming back to my report, first of all, I will recall the name of those who did not, where I didn't find any filler words or any lag. So guys, pat on the back. The first one is TM Mayank, then Toastmaster Mandakini, then Toastmaster Sandhya, then Toastmaster Sandeep, and guest Ashutosh. That's it. Now coming with those where I found some filler words, like when it comes to Paranjot, I found 1 R. Toastmaster Chanda, I found 4 pauses. Toastmaster Rustam, 3 R's, 2 pauses. Toastmaster Santesh, I found 2 R's and 2 pauses. Toastmaster Vinita, 5 R's. Toastmaster Chamin, more than 5 R's. Toastmaster Minakshi, it was 3 R's. Toastmaster Cheryl, 3 R's, 1 repeat word just and 1 pause. Toastmaster Amit, 4 R's and 1 Toastmaster Amir took 2 R's. Toastmaster Aditya took 1 R and 1 pause. Guest Rahul used 2 R's and 1 repeat word, you know. Toastmaster Sonika used 4 R's. Toastmaster Rustam used 1 R, 2 repeated words and 2 pauses. Now, I mentioned all of these kind of filler words and R's. Now, how can you avoid them? First of all, whenever you are speaking, don't rush into things. First of all, calm yourself. We did lots of mistakes when we rushed the things. Whenever you are getting any kind of topic, calm yourself. Take a deep breath. It almost solves most of your problems. And whenever you are speaking, just take deep breaths, fill the air in your mouth, and then speak. That's it from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jatin. So in our meeting, there is someone who is hiding in plain sight and recording and listening to everything that we are speaking and trying to find grammatical errors in our speech. So it's none other than our grammarian Toastmaster Santesh. So I would request her to come on stage and explain and give us her final report.
Once again, good evening, all my fellow Toastmasters. yes, it is a little challenging work to be a grammarian. I'm being grammarian for the first time in my life. Well, I observed and listened to all your speeches, and I'll start with the speakers first. Speaker Charmin, uh, I'll start with the positive. She really used a nice idiom, fear of missing out. And a couple of places, like she did a mistake. It was a bit revolutionary, whereas she was trying to speak about the present, like having moving to social media. It is a bit revolutionary. I guess the use of word was wrong. And she also made a mention like giving the MNCs millions of datas. So datas is wrong. Millions of data would be right usage. And at one point she said social media was made by man, whereas I feel it can be made by a man. Next speaker was Cheryl, and she used opportunities are made to be grabbed, which I really liked. And she bungled, or she made a mistake at one place by saying just before 15 days. She tried to do it correct it twice. I guess it is supposed to be just 15 days before the event or before the contest. And at one place she said happy to just flaunt my victory, which again she could have avoided the word just and be happy to flaunt my victory. Next speaker was Mandakini, and I loved her modulations, and she used a beautiful metaphor of Guddu Bhaiya of Mirzapur, which I like, but she made mistake in grammar, bungling at an app, and of course was irrelevant at one point when she said of course. Next speaker was Santhya. She used the word of the day, egregious, beautifully, and she said that who had this disability or learned this cooking. So the word this was not used rightly there, and she could have avoided it. About table topic speakers, Sandeep had used the word of the day egregious rightly, and he said at one place helps learning impromptu speaking. So learning, the use of the word was not right. And he also said guests invite them somewhere. So invite them was not right. Guest to invite. Next speaker was Aditya, who used again the idiom of day, break a leg, which I liked. Rahul used the word of the day, egregious, future, and he said once, dreamt it. So I think it was not supposed to be rightly used, dreamt it. Sonika, Toastmaster Sonika, at one place said, I just forget about the wound, which was supposed to be, the tense was wrong. She should have said, I just forgot about the wound. Ashutosh used the idiom of the day, break the leg, incorrectly, because it's not break the leg, it is break a leg. And Rustam Toastmaster Rustam said, when you have a fear from him. So from him is a wrong grammar. You could have said fear of him. And evaluators also beautifully used, but I think I'm overshooting my time now. Should I stop here? General evaluator.
Ma'am, please continue with your report.
Okay,
you can give a heads up, bird's eye view of the report of the remaining person.
Okay. General evaluator Meenakshi had used at one place of time could have stand up. Could have stood up is the right usage. And she also used few of my recommendations is. It's supposed to be was. Or recommendations are, sorry. The usage of is was wrong with recommendations. Toastmaster Amit have a few problems with pronunciations of the words like characters, very, saw. And at one place he used the wrong tense. stay connected, where he was supposed to say stayed connected. Toastmaster Amir said bought into the idea or gotten into the idea, which is again a wrong usage of the word. He could have just said bought the idea or got the idea. And at one place he said aligned with your eyes. He was talking about the camera, and he could have said just the camera could have been aligned with aligned to your eyes. And Toastmaster Chanda, Toastmaster of the day, can improve with few of her words like pronunciation, like inspiration is the right pronunciation, not inspiration. And choose is the right word rather than chose. Chose or curative at one place she said, or the use of he and she. But she uses a lot of idioms and metaphors beautifully. So that's my report of the day. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santesh. Now the last supplementary role player is the timer, so I request Toastmaster Rustam to present his timing report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening once again to everyone. I'll be starting my report with the Sergeant at Arms. The Sergeant at Arms took 1 minute 19 seconds. The President 5 minute 10 seconds. TMOD in the introduction part took 3 minutes 51 seconds. The timer in the introduction part, that is me, took 1 minute 26 seconds. Our counter Toastmaster Jatin took 1 minute 15 seconds. Grammarian Toastmaster Santesh took 1 minute 2 minutes 7 seconds. Coming to the prepared speeches section, first speaker Charmin took 7 minutes 31 seconds. Second speaker Cheryl took 4 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Mandakini, the third speaker, took 6 minutes 57 seconds. Fourth speaker took 6 minutes 48 seconds for the speech section and took 8 minutes and 30 seconds for the question and answer round. Coming to the table topic session, Toastmaster Aditya, the first table topic speaker, took 1 minute 51 seconds. The guest Rahul took 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Sonika took 1 minute 22 seconds. Guest Ashutosh took 1 minute 15 seconds. Toastmaster Rustam took 1 minute 41 seconds. I'm sorry for not recording the last Toastmaster's name in the Toastmasters table topic session. The person took 1 minute 21 seconds. My apologies for that. And coming to the TTM, that is table topic master, took 15 minutes 43 seconds in overall. Coming to the GE introducing, that is for 22 seconds. Toastmaster Vinita, the evaluator for the first speaker, took 2 minutes 48 seconds. Toastmaster Minakshi took 2 minutes 45 seconds. Toastmaster Amit took 3 minutes 19 seconds. Toastmaster Amir took 3 minutes 22 seconds. And for the auxiliary role players, Toastmaster Jatin took 2 minutes 19 seconds. Toastmaster Santesh took 6 minutes exactly. And Toastmaster, that is me, the timer, took 1 minute, 2 minutes, and still going on. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you to Toastmaster Rustam. Now let's vote for the best auxiliary role play. Toastmaster Santesh is disqualified because of excess time. We'll be voting between the timer and the hour counter. Two more votes. All right, I'm ending the voting. Okay, now I'll present my evaluation for the whole meeting, starting from the beginning in chronological order. The Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sandra, started the meeting with on time with very high energy. She recited the club mission statement and also introduced the presiding officer on the stage properly. The presiding officer introduced the guest very warmly, although I saw that some of the guests were left and the proper introductions could not have been done. Our general feedback to the presiding officer in our meeting, the presiding officers gets around 3 to 5 minutes speaking time. So I can recommend the presiding officer to use this time and tell us more about public speaking, leadership, and utilize this time more further. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chanda, she had a very unique theme, make it happen. Everything was good. The only recommendations to Chanda could be to check the network connection before speaking, and also check on the camera placement. One thing that I noticed was that she repeatedly pronounced the name of one member incorrectly. It's Toastmaster Shaman. Even there were other members who were pronouncing the name incorrectly. So I think we can work upon that and pronounce the correct name. Coming to the supplementary role players today, the timer introduced all the timing rules very properly, explained it very correctly. He could have been concise while presenting the timing of the prepared speeches segment in the first half. During his final report, his timing report was very comprehensive, and it recorded the time of everyone except for one person whose name he could not record. Coming to the grammarian again explained his role very properly. She properly mentioned the word and idiom of the day. And she also gave us so many examples where we could have used the word of the day and idiom of the day in our day-to-day life. And coming to a final report, she gave a very comprehensive report. But my only recommendation to the grammarian would be to be conscious of the timing of a report so that it falls well within time. Also, in that hurry, she did not mention how many times the word and idiom of the day was used. And in general Toastmasters meeting, we give a thumbs up every time a word and idiom of a day is used in online meetings. Coming to the final supplementary role play, the R counter. He also gave a very comprehensive report on the number of R's and ums were used by each person. And he also gave a summary on how we can avoid R's and ums in our general Toastmasters meeting. So very good comprehensive report on that. Before I come to the evaluators, there is only one person left, the table topic master, Toastmaster Sandeep. Again, the table topic master made special efforts to have table topics that are very relevant to the theme of today's meeting, and he also ensured that there was a healthy mix between members and guests. General feedback, I know that supplementary role players are allowed to participate in table topics. We can push other members, or we can pick out members who we know are shy and can take part in table topics. So a general recommendation on table topic. Coming to the speech evaluators today, the first speech evaluator was Toastmaster Vinita. She also followed perfectly the CRC approach: commendation, recommendation, and commendation again. She presented a proper summary, had a proper takeaway from her speech. She gave a recommendation that the voice modulation was missing, but I felt that she could have given how we can improve voice modulation, or she could point out certain instances in the speech where the speaker could have used voice modulation even better, so that the speaker knows the exact area where she needs to work upon. Other recommendations I feel could have included the standing, the speaker could have been in a standing posture. The speech transitions were missing at certain point. And since the speech was full of data it could have been better presented with use of visual aids. The second speaker the second speech evaluator was Toastmaster Meenakshi. Again, she used CRC approach very beautifully. One recommendation for her, she could work upon her R's and ums so that it becomes more easy for the audience to hear us as an evaluator. She also gave a takeaway of the speech at the end, but I felt that the summary, how to summarize her evaluation, that was missing. And use of pauses, her evaluation ended very abruptly. I was not expecting it to end, and then it ended abruptly. So I think she could pace it and pause accordingly so that the evaluation does not feel that it has ended abruptly. The third speech evaluator was Toastmaster Amit. I really liked how he beautifully divided his commendations into point one, point two, point three. He was following CRC approach, but then it became CRC, then RC. So I would recommend Toastmaster Amit to have a CRC approach, or if not, then properly follow a evaluation structure that leaves the speaker on a positive note and not with a recommendation note. And also, he also had a summary and a key takeaway at the end of the speech. Coming to the fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Ahmed, he also beautifully broke down his commendations into points and how he could improve. And he gave specific examples where the speaker was lacking in his speech. And he also used CRC approach. One recommendation to our Toastmaster Amir, apart from his evaluation, is that since evaluation is also like a mini speech, Toastmaster Amir needs to work on his weight shifting, because I could notice that while standing, he was moving a little bit left or right or back and forward. So that's all from my evaluation report today. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank, for detailed evaluation of the whole meeting. Hope it will add on to our next meeting. Now, as I said, I always learn from my Toastmaster theme. This time, I again learn from researching about the topic. Make it happen. I have learned a lot of facts that facts about theme that we should never leave the things. We should always try to improve things day-to-day basis. Second and foremost thing is that we should divide into goals into certain objective and try to schedule that objective in our day-to-day life. After that, I have found certain things that we should follow to achieve anything in our life or make things happen in our life. First is write down journals. That is a most important task. Second thing, divide your goals into certain mini steps. And third thing is that whenever you achieve any objective in your life, try to gift yourself anything so you feel confident and motivate yourself. We should never leave our dreams on the go. We should push ourselves to achieve our dreams. Once we will push ourselves, we will go through the little heat of the life. Then that will cultivate in our blood and that will become our habit. So we can easily achieve our any goal, whether it's a bigger goal and a small goal of the life. I did one survey throughout the with many Toastmasters, and I realized and got to know how we can make happen in our things like that. Consistency. Consistency is very important for any achievement in our life, and always try to grab the opportunity, whatever comes in our life, whether it's small or big. We keep adapting new things in our life. And second and more things, that always ready for the challenges. We should never take back ourselves. Always ready to take the challenges in our life. So definitely in end of the throughout the time we will able to learn new things. Now I would hand over stage to presiding officer Toastmaster Paramjot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chanda. That was an amazing session by Toastmaster Chanda. I request everybody to put a huge round of applause for Chanda. She has done great research on the topic and come up with an amazing theme. Now I would like Mayank to launch the poll for the best anchor. Let's decide the best anchor. I will give you 30 seconds so that we can decide the best anchors among all of these. Toastmaster Chanda, Toastmaster Mayank, and Toastmaster Sandeep was the anchor of the evening. At the time you're doing something, I just want to share the salute to our 11th hour officer. So our 11th hour officer today was Toastmaster Mayank as a general evaluator, as he got this opportunity at the very last. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank. Also, I would like to salute Toastmaster Rohan Bansal to take the opportunity of Make Me Better Evaluator on a drop of a hat. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohan. Great. So, Mayank, are we ready with the certificates?
Just 1 minute, I'm preparing them.
Great. Also, I would like to salute to the first timers. So all the first timer today was amazing. It was not like they have done this for the first time. So Toastmaster Sandeep, a great Toastmaster, a table topic session. Toastmaster Vinita, what an evaluation. You literally learned the skill of evaluation. This is our yesterday conversation. Thank you so much, Vinita. Toastmaster Meenakshi, what a great evaluation again from your side also. And you have improved a lot from the last time. Toastmaster Santesh, what a comprehensive grammarian role she has done today. We will work towards the time, and you are already doing a great job. So that was great. So Mayank, are we ready with the certificates?
Yes, it is getting generated. Just 30 more seconds.
Great. So till the time, I just would like to know from any one of the guests to share any feedback and how they felt about today's meeting. Guest, anyone?
Hi, Param.
Hi, Sandhya.
Hi, I totally enjoyed this session. It was so good for me. I really enjoyed the session, and I think all were very cooperative, and they were asking all the questions. So I thoroughly enjoyed, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much, Sandhya. That was an insightful speech from you. A lot of people know a lot about vegan and how we can pursue that as a habit. So that was an insightful speech. Any one of the other guests want to share a small feedback or anything what they felt about the
Okay, hi
meeting?
Paramjot.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, so this is Rahul. Yeah, I mean, I remember when Sandeep said thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. It brought back all the good memories I had of the previous uh, meetings which I used to attend. But then, I mean, your club is really nice. All the people are very much experienced. I really like the evaluation session. And I mean, the fact that you
2
actually,
minutes over.
incorporated 4 speeches in just 2 hours, that was great. And I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and to Smith as well, who nudged me into this meeting.
Great. Thank you so much, Rahul, for coming to South Delhi Toastmaster. Hope we made your Saturday a productive one.
Oh,
So
yes,
great.
you
So
did.
for the best auxiliary role player, that goes to two amazing people. That is Toastmaster Jatin and Toastmaster Rustan. Congratulations. Both have done a great job. Next, the speech evaluator goes to one person who have detailed evaluation on the speaker. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir, for being a great speech evaluator. The best table topic speaker goes to guest Ashutosh, an amazing Toastmaster from Mumbai. Kudos. The best anchor goes to our 11th hour officer, Toastmaster Mayank. Thank you so much, Mayank, for an amazing general evaluation. And the
3
best
minutes
speaker
over.
goes to somebody who has swiped right in her speech. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mandaki. That was an amazing speech.
Param, I need to say something. Again, the date in the subjects are wrong. Certificates are wrong.
Yes,
Thank you
I
so
know.
much,
I know.
Sandra.
It's
She's
some
one
because of
detail-oriented
Excel.
reader.
It's because of Excel issues. The date come out as wrong.
No, it's okay. Please check it and give the real dates.
Sure.
We have gone
Thank you
50
so much.
years back.
Don't do all this because
Sure, Sandra, sure.
it should be given in the real dates. Yeah.
Without further ado, I request everybody to please come on video and let's take a memory before we start the Make Me Better session. Request everybody to please come on the video. And can you take a screenshot?
Yes, I'll take a screenshot. Yes, it's done.
Great. So let's kickstart the Make Me Better session and let's come back in another 12 minutes and let's close the meeting very soon. So, man, can you put us in the breakout room?
Yes, you need to tell me the role plays for breakout room because I don't have the
So
list.
for speakers, Rohan Bansal and all the speakers.
Just hold on. I'll just keep creating the breakout rooms for speakers.
Rohan Bansal and all the speakers, that is Mandakini, Shamin, Cheryl, and Santhya.
Just hold on. Okay, I can't see Toastmaster Santhya into the.
No problem. You can share. Rohan, Santhya, you can give feedback in the WhatsApp chat or make it better. We'll forward it to her. Rest you can give the evaluation to all the three speakers present.
Okay, and for the
Speech evaluators, Sonika and all the speech evaluators.
Just hold on.
And all the
Sonika.
guests should go in the speakers room only. So all the guests should go in the speakers room. Sonika, and there is Amir there. I can see one more evaluator, and that is evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Vinita.
Okay, 1 and 4 are only there.
Okay, so Sonika, you have to evaluate people to evaluate.
And for our anchors?
Anchors, Aditya and all the anchors.
Just
and for auxiliary role player, I think they can stay in the main room. You don't need to create a breakout room for them.
Just hold on. Okay, for supplementary role players, they do not need to go.
Yeah, I'm there, and they will stay in the main room. I'm the evaluator for that.
I have opened all the rooms.
Great. So I request people to join, and let's come back in another 12 minutes.
Sandeep sir, you need to go into the anchor room.